Y'all, this is Elisa, and this is 60 Days to 60. And in less than 60 days, I'm going to be 6 years old, which is kind of hard to believe because I used to think that was so old, and I'm like, maybe it's not so old. Anyway, today I want to cover something that I think is so cool. Like, it's one of those things I learned years and years ago, and I was like, whoa. And it was a very life changing thing. And it's kind of a paradigm shift. So I call it hard drive versus internet thinking. So I remember before the internet was around, guys, I'm that old. So back in the day, we used our hard drives for everything. And you would save a file on there, and you were kind of limited on how much you could store. And our hard drives were not as big back then as they are now. And so you could only store so much. And then you had to remember what you named the file so you could recall it. And um, but then the internet came along, and you're like, you mean I can ask it any question? And I mean, we couldn't even fathom AI at that point because now you can even ask it to think for you, which is a different video. But um, like, for example, so I realized that a lot of my thinking was hard drive thinking. Like, a lot of times we ask ourselves yes or no questions. So, for example, if I say, is it possible for me to lose weight? My little brain working as a hard drive is going to go, you failed this time, you failed this time. No, you fail every time, not possible. But if I go out to the internet and I say, hey, how can I lose 20 pounds? How can I lose 100 pounds? What are the best ways to lose weight? What do women over 50 do to lose weight? There's so many different ways I can ask that question, right? And each way I will get different answers. And some of those will be better than others depending how good the question was that I asked. And so it's like learning to ask ourselves these open-minded questions or open-ended questions and open mind. Yeah, both. They both work, right? But the idea being that if you ask a question, your brain kind of hates having an unanswered question, and it will start looking for solutions. So, same thing if you say, is it even possible to pay off all this debt? And that's a yes or no, that's a hard drive question. And your little brain's gonna go and it's gonna open up all these files where you failed or where you spent too much money, and it's going to say, no, not possible. But if you ask a better question, like, how do people in this situation get out of debt? What do they do? How can I get out of debt? What's a good resource to get out of debt? Then all of a sudden, you'll start finding all these solutions that weren't there before. So when you catch yourself thinking something's impossible, usually it just means you're asking a hard drive question. Sorry, there's a bug that you're asking a hard drive question instead of an internet or a chat GPT question or an AI question, I should say. So rephrase that. And like, we even live in the day of AI where you could even go further and say, hey, give me a plan. And like, if you've ever used AI, then it'll say, hey, I can also give you 5 recipes to go with that. Hey, I can also make you a shopping list if you want. Hey, I can also, and AI will start giving you ideas on how it can better help you. A little weird if you think about it, but anyway, so think of like different areas in your life where maybe you're stuck and start asking different questions. Start asking, how can I? What would it look like if I? What do I need to do so that? Change that question so that your brain starts finding the solutions that you need to solve the problem. I hope that helps, and I hope you guys have a great day. See you later.